The Nintendo Shack is back. Welcome to another episode of PSVG's Nintendo Shack. I am Jason Lacey. We are back from Thanksgiving vacation. I'm back from perpetual hiatus. You know, that's what I do. And we've got a full crew in the house. With me, almost always, when I show up, is Caroline.
Hi, what's going on? I'm so glad to be back with you. It's been like a year, right? It feels like when you've gone for just a week of Thanksgiving that it feels like it's been a long time.
More or less, yeah. I would agree with that. Yeah. Donnie Reese, look at you. You're here.
Greetings, Koopalings.
You're like a gaming cherub.
What?
All rosy cheeked and beautiful.
Where are you going with this? Let's get you out of here. Let's get you out of this. I also am glad to be back on Nintendo Shack. I missed you guys.
Yeah.
You know, we say we're gonna take the week off, let everybody, you know, like just kind of hang out and relax, enjoy the family, and then like gets a Sunday, and I'm like, I feel like a lack of like social activity. I'm like, I'm supposed to talk to people. I haven't talked to people in days. Like, what's going on? Just seeing at Thanksgiving, everybody's just like, so Donnie, how's the website going? That's the cool thing. I'm just like, oh God, stop talking to me. As I just put my headphones back on at the dinner table, I'm just like,
hours at the place, maybe. We could have conceivably talked. We could have.
I love it. And making his Shack debut, the one, the only, Devin.
What's cracking? I'm
What's up,
back
man?
for the very first time.
wouldn't happen, Jason. You said it wouldn't happen. It's never gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen.
I'm just here to keep proving Jason wrong. I've got a Switch. I'm on the Shack. I'm gonna beat him in Smash. It's great.
Man, you that's a long list of signups that have been there that are planning to crush me. So
I'm 2 out of 3 so far.
hey, it's true. I had major doubts. And then all of a sudden you're like, boom, receipt drop. Let's go.
Yeah, it's great. I'm happy.
You can't rebuttal the receipt. Can't do
Can't.
it.
Nope.
It's game over. It's game over.
So yeah, I'm just happy to be here. It's awesome. I love the Shack. You guys are hilarious. I love talking all the trash to you guys. But I guess I have to stop doing so much of that now that I actually have joined the ranks.
In your house and connected to your TV.
Yeah.
I'm just proud we've turned you. Like we've completely turned him. He just
I wouldn't say
I mean, he's not playing Mario. I mean,
I would not say completely turned.
Yet.
It's like this. The PlayStation is home, okay? The beach house would be the PC. And then the vacation spots are like the Xbox and the Switch. So I wouldn't say you've turned me completely. Because home will always be the PlayStation.
Ooh.
I'm gonna count how many messages you've posted in PlayStation versus Shack in the last 5 days. Then we'll talk about.
No one talks there.
Then we'll talk about where's.
On.
Then we'll talk about what's home and what's the beach house and what's the vacation spot.
Shack is always lit, as the kids are saying.
Thank you. PSVG is Shack. Okay, let's just keep it real. Shack is lit. Okay. The island is an island for a reason. There's nobody there. We don't talk there enough. There's just not enough going on there. You want to come and have a conversation, you got to go to the Shack.
Sean Capri says the Switch is my timeshare. Oh dear.
Well, either way, we're happy to have you in the Shack. We welcome all. People come into the Shack and throw shade, but we still say, come in. Come in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun.
That's what we do. That's right. That's what we do. We're gonna kick things off, guys. It's been a while. Let's talk a little about what we've been playing, what we've been up to. I'll just start off. Really, guys, it's the calm before the storm. I mean, I'm just biding my time. Warframe came out, and I've dabbled with that a bit. I never grabbed me on PC. I didn't understand what I was doing. Then I put it on Switch, and I still didn't understand what I was doing. But Tom Servo, who's in the chat, was like, "I'm already a mecha god at this game because I played it like 10 hours straight on PS4 the night before. Let's go." Actually, excuse me. He switched his region and downloaded it early on Switch, and then he played. And so he kind of showed me the way a little bit. And it's a fun game. It's fun to like go through and just mindlessly kill stuff and get components that you can maybe hopefully at some point use to get more gear, but I just don't. I probably won't ever put enough time into it long term to do that. But I mean, hands off to Panic Button again. I mean, I'm sure everyone's already seen that through the social media feeds and everything. That another fantastic porting process that they've done. They continue to pull magic on the Switch with what they take games and compress them down or whatever they do. But it looks good. Now, I will say there are some portions of the game that are more open world, and then your frame rate just goes and it really stutters a bit. But I mean, the standard missions are all more of an indoor setting, and it runs just fine. And beyond that, really, I've dabbled in Moonlighter here and there. I haven't actually picked it up in a bit, and really, like over Thanksgiving break, I didn't play anything. I thought I was going to, and I ended up watching more football in that couple days span than I have, I think, in the entire year. So, because I was just hanging out with my father-in-law, I was like, oh, okay, I'll watch this game. Yep, okay, I'll watch this game. So, just waiting until next Friday.
Bears dance, by the way.
What's that?
That Bears dance.
Okay. So, yeah, then after this week, it's pretty much I'll have the same what you playing for probably all of 2019. I don't know. We'll see. Unless maybe here's the question. The question will be answered. Am I really good at Smash or am I just bad? Because I got Donnie and Bobby the Nintendo Guru hyping the crap out of me left and right. And I got pressured to perform. It's like the honeymoon night, all over again.
Pressure.
Got that pressure to perform.
Pressure is a privilege. That's what we say at our football team. That's the slogan. Pressure is a privilege.
I think every week from Shaq after Smash, you should come back having played that week exclusively as one character. And you can give us like a full detailed report on every character through Smash. That'll get you through the year. As opposed to you just coming back and saying Smash, like, this is Rosalina week. Let me tell you all about the things I did with Rosalina this week.
I can't.
His own tier lists and stuff. That would be really cool.
I can't do
Just
that.
as long as you don't play as Jigglypuff or any Pokemon related character, then we're
We're gonna have to double up on some weeks. It's only 52 weeks in the year.
Pikachu, Pokemon Trainer, Kirby, all the good
Don't
characters.
make me do it.
The best characters.
Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. I can't. No, I won't. But yeah, that's all I got. Short and sweet.
I too played a little Warframe, just a bit. I played, like the first 5 missions. I too have no idea what I'm doing. I just go in there and I go to the machine until it boosts me into the thing. Last night I played with like 3 other people I don't know. They were like jumping off my head and stuff and like flying over bridges. I was like, wow, they're good. I don't know what they're doing. But we totally got the guy out and got him back to the ship or whatever. It was like an escort mission and it was fine. When this was announced that it was becoming, we were talking about all the updates and everything that this game has received since it like launched way back when, was it 13? When the PS4 launched? Wasn't it the launch game for PS4 and Xbox? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it is completely changed. And yeah, I mean, I think for those folks that are playing Switch that have never played, they don't have another console, those Nintendo only folks, this is probably the closest thing they're ever going to see to Destiny on the Switch. I mean, to me, anyways, as we have a Destiny person here, I'll go ahead and say this. To me, it's Destiny-ish. You go back to like this little hub world, you can like upgrade stuff, and then you jump into this mission with friends. You do all the space stuff, you shoot all the people, and you come back and you do it again. That's Destiny.
Okay, I'll just let you have it.
It's probably the best route to take tonight.
Oh, come on, Dev. I teed that one up
I'll
for
let you have it.
Uh,
I'll let you have it.
There's nothing else going to come back and like come close to that. And it's cool I didn't have to pay any money for it. It wasn't telling me to give them any money anywhere. Like it wasn't yelling at me to do so. I'm sure at some point if I kept playing it. I don't know if it'll overtake like Fortnite. Like I don't know if it's Fortnite fun. Just because Fortnite's simpler. I don't have to like, try as hard. And I've been kind of into that. Like I don't have to try as hard and play it, to understand and do all the things and all.
I can't build, so therefore I'll never be good at Fortnite.
I never build anything in Fortnite, by the way.
You got to be able to ninja jump in Warframe, but you got to like smash the build button and 360 around and
shopping carts. That's the way to do it.
I just run a gun. That's all. I'm just here to shoot folks. I ain't trying to get number
You're
one.
playing the wrong game then.
It's so much fun though. It's so much fun to play that way. They really have some awesome weapons. But beat Pokemon, as I'm sure Caroline did, as I'm sure Lobo did. Really good. All of my impressions basically stay the same. As with me, probably with any RPG, by the end, I think it kind of waned on me. I also think it's probably just because I came off Pokemon Yellow not that long ago. So to me, it definitely became like somewhat boredom, and I've never been like the collect 'em all. So I wasn't like shiny hunting or doing any
I was
of
gonna
that,
say, I was gonna ask if you're all about the end game like Carol
I've
is.
never done that. That's never been my
Johnny
thing.
does not believe in endgame. That's not a thing for him.
Yeah, I may go back and try to beat the Master Marowak and Cubone Trainer, maybe, but it'll be a while. Like I need like a break, and then I'll come back and go do it. But, it's just I think, like to me, this is a really cool way to relive the first game, especially if you haven't played it in 20 years. It's a really cool way to relive the first game. But if you've been playing Pokemon games every year since then, I mean, I think you will eventually finish the game kind of wanting more, and that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing, because that's going to get you prime and ready for the next one. But like coming off Pokemon Sun, which had an actually good story, like in a Pokemon game, had a good like I was into the narrative and talking to everybody.
Yeah, I think it's just my favorite.
Yeah.
Entry in the series, bar none.
Yeah, so coming off of that and then coming to this one, definitely I felt it. I just put it that way. It's not it's not a knock on the game. I just felt it. I felt like, man, this is really cool and it's really pretty, but it's not Pokemon Sun. It's not Pokemon Sun and Moon. Pokemon Sun and Moon's better. But it was really fun. And Jack's still playing it, and we still got all the stuff. I got my Pikachu Smash controller. I'm ready for the weekend.
Not my Pokemon.
Not your Pokemon. No, it's really good. I do. And you know what? It's got me playing Pokemon Go. Like I'm still playing Pokemon Go. I'm still carrying the stupid Pokeball with me. It's just really fun to do that. All I do is walk around with the Pokeball. I just click the button. My boss has yelled at me. Today I was briefing, I don't know if I can say it. I was briefing like CEOs of like really big businesses. And they're all sitting around like this really long table that sits like 60 people, like a conference table. And they're all in their suits and everything. And what did I have in my hand as I was moving the mouse around? Pokeball. Just sitting there, just at the World Congress Center, spinning stops, catch a Pokemon. Like, because you can palm it. People can't see it. They don't know what it is, but my boss knew what it was. He's like, stop it. Put that in your pocket. I'm like, nobody can see it. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Like, it's a thing. Stop it. Nobody told you to put your phone away. Get off Twitter. So, like, have fun with that. Started Diablo. And that's really the one that I've been playing on Switch. So, long story short. No. Long story short is I've been kind of just like down on games of late. I'm not sure if I've been playing too many of them. It's because I'm not playing anything that I'm really into. But like it's just my last 7 or 8 goes have not like lived up to the bill. So I didn't really want to I wasn't feeling the want to play Diablo at all. Like since I bought it, I was like, there's like all these systems and there's all this stuff and there's people, there's multiplayer, and I have to get like a guide and like look at it, And then all of you guys kept telling me like you gotta play it, and it was really Lucas. He's like, I think you're really gonna love it. Like you really need to go play it. So 3 nights ago, I sat down. I didn't have anybody here at the house. I was like, all right, I got nothing else to do. I think I'm done with Assassin's Creed. Let's get started on this thing. So I watched a couple YouTube videos. I popped it in, I played it, and I haven't played anything else since. Like, that's all I'm playing. I played it last night. I'm going to play it after Shaq. Like, he's right. I really do enjoy it. It's
Wait, whoa. The
question is, though, how long?
We'll see. So and that was the question that I raised, because I know, like, the Diablo way, right, is that people want to keep playing, right? They want to re-roll a character and go play as another. I don't know if I'll do all that. So, like, if that means that I don't play it like I'm supposed to, I've never really done that in a game. I've never replayed a game as a different character just to do it. But I'm definitely going to like play it, because I'm definitely going to finish the story. At least I'm going to do the campaign, like this first run. I'm going to do it because I'm having fun doing it. 2, I think I have a hang of like the basics of the systems and the upgrades. I think I feel pretty comfortable with it now. And 3, I really, really like the writing. And I don't know if that's like a thing in Diablo that you're supposed to do or not. Like I was sitting there thinking, I was like, do other people like the writing?
Blizzard game.
Yeah, that's more Blizzard.
Okay, because I was digging the writing and all the voiceover and the music, and I was like, man, this is good. So I'm talking to everybody. I'm stopping at everywhere, and like I do, uncovering every rock and lifting everything along the way.
What class did you pick?
I picked a Crusader. I tried to play as a witch doctor, and I was like kind of bouncing around. I picked like a female witch doctor.
Good job switching, because I would not advise that for your first go.
Yeah, so I picked that one, and then I picked the barbarian. And basically, I played to that first. I just played to Tristram. like with each character, and like I fought like 20 people, and I was like, no, what's the other one look like? What's the other one look like? And then I played the Crusader, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. The shield bash stuff is pretty awesome. Like,
I knew that was who you were gonna be.
You
like,
did not. Oh, stop
I
it.
did. When you asked like what should I play? I was like, you're gonna play the knight or something that's going to bash things.
Oh, it's super fun. It is super fun. It's super fun.
And wreck.
I'm sorry?
Don't I just run in and wreck?
That's all I do. Just tank it up, man. Like, let's do this. Let's do this. Exactly. Love Castle Crashers. So good. So it's really kind of turned me around, I guess, like in my spirits anyway. Like work has finally started. Like work has been awful, by the way. Just for like the last 10 to 12 days, I have been going. Most folks in the Discord know I've been up at like 6 a.m. I've literally been working at my computer till like 10 at night, like every day. We have meetings around the clock. Like Super Bowl stuff is really starting to kick into gear, and it's really starting to get on my my offside. So pretty much that's pretty much what I'm doing, and looking forward to talking to Dev more about this Switch upcoming. But yeah, Smash is upon us. Good stuff. What about you, Caroline?
I won't be long because I'm just gonna go back into Pokemon and shinies. Yes, beat it. Did a little post game stuff, as in I haven't touched any master trainers. I figured I would at least go up at 1, but then when I saw, hey, it's like a level 75 for the lowest one, I was like, oh my god, I think I need to stay away from these guys for a little bit. But I, got myself a Mewtwo, did a little interaction with a character from the previous series that I thought was a really nice inclusion. I don't know if you guys know about that. I won't spoil it for anybody who hasn't beaten the game yet. But really fun. And I've been shiny hunting on just pretty much exclusively on stream, because after you sit and you're waiting for something to maybe pop for 3 hours, it kind of gets draining. So I'll chain up the 31 Caterpie or Weedle or something, and then jump back in the next day. But I've had really good luck. I mean, like the chaining mixed with beating the game and completing your Pokedex, which gives you a shiny charm, that helps your odds. And then on top of that, I have a lure. The lure is like a new thing that you can drop, and rarer Pokemon have a better chance of appearing. And really, they just kind of inundate you with all these Pokemon. It's like you're just trying to dodge them so you don't enter an encounter with them. So with all of those three things coupled, your shiny chances go from 1 in 4,096 to 1 in 273. So it's quite the boost. I've gotten not that was
trying.
The
nerdiest thing that was.
What?
By the way.
I feel like I'm an advanced.
What? My numbers? Leave me alone. I had to research this. I needed to know. So, without trying, I got like a Pidgey. Just random stuff. What? What are you laughing at?
Jason and his 20-sided dice there.
Caroline, how long did you go through the campaign part of the game? Just for listeners out there that are probably playing.
It didn't take me that long. I think maybe 20 to 30 hours.
I think it was 30. It was like 30 to 35. I'm not sure. There was times where, I wasn't like mainlining.
You have to remember, like, part of that for me is sitting and I wait for every single Pokemon to pop in the grass before I move on to the next area. So it really
it's like Steve Irwin out there.
It feels kind of abbreviated, especially when you don't have those encounters that you have to keep doing. You choose to go into an encounter unless you just kind of just have one spawn on top of you. But I got my shiny Gyarados. I got my shiny Charizard. I'm working on Onyx right now.
For those that may not know, because not everybody plays Pokemon like they should, explain to the listeners what a shiny Pokemon is.
So a shiny Pokemon is an extremely rare chance to get a color swap. That's it. It's just a color swap. It doesn't have any other.
It does nothing else. It's just
okay.
But
so
if you look up,
catch them all,
I'm not catching all of the shinies. It's like I said, there's a 4,096 chance if you don't have any upgrade.
Hang on a second. Is Devin making fun of somebody who playing a game for a long amount of time to change the color? I thought that's like all Destiny is. Like that's all you do is play it for like thousands of hours so you can change the colors of the guns and stuff. Like
Overwatch,
that's it.
Bro. That's Overwatch where you're changing.
I don't know.
I'm growing in power, so it's more than just a color swap. If it was just a color swap, I would not do it. That's why I don't play Overwatch.
Okay, look at a regular Charizard versus a shiny Charizard, and you tell me which one's more ballin'. I promise you. So
Yeah.
Does it hit harder?
Yeah,
Does
Dev,
it hit
do
harder?
that. No, Dev,
No.
just do what Caroline said.
I'm telling you, you pick which one you would like to fly on, and you
I
can
would-
actually fly
I
on
would
it, damn
fly
it.
on-
So anyway, that's all I've been doing. I'm waiting for Smash. It's kind of just been a nice abbreviated entry to the series that I don't know. It's not like I'm pouring all of my time into it. I play it for a few hours a day and then I'm done. And I guess I'll be doing this for another week. Yeah. Then it's all Smash
Right on.
until the cows come home.
Awesome.
John says shiny Charizard is banging. Right?
I mean, I believe it. I have nothing to say about that. I believe it. I just wish he would hit harder or something because that gives me.
Math Man is
a reason.
right. Waiting for Smash on my birthday, it will be my last birthday, and then I'm just going to be celebrating the anniversary
Your
of
last birthday? That's
my
smooth.
last birthday is next Saturday,
That's
right?
dark.
And then I'm going to just be celebrating the anniversary of my final birthday from here on out.
Oh dear.
I'm turning 29. So
Happy pre-birthday, Caroline.
Forever 29.
Retro TG has a riddle for us, but we'll continue on and get to the riddle in a minute.
Yeah, I'm definitely not reading all that. I'll read it. Like Jason, let's continue.
Yeah. Well, let's face it. The whole reason Dev is here, the hashtag Make Dev Switch movement. So for those people that may not be familiar, long time ago, Donnie and Dev made a little wager. Donnie could watch all the Marvel, because Donnie at this time had never, you had never seen a single
I saw
Marvel
Iron Man
Cinematic
2.
Universe.
I saw
Okay.
one, yeah.
So you saw one MCU film. The gauntlet was dropped. Donnie, I want you to watch every film.
In some order, in like the order that they came out, or that they were in. I don't even know what order they are.
I
I
think,
think we went in chronological.
yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
cinematic. Because you got current, and then you watched as they released, and then you had to take a quiz. There was a podcast quiz test, what have you. You had to score a certain point.
Which I completely failed, by the way. You know, that's like the thing that's lost in all this is by
Yeah.
most educational systems, I failed that test. I got like a
Yeah, we gave you a
65.
We gave you a curve.
I would have failed that too, and I've watched it, and then
Oh, the deck was
So, I
completely
mean-
stepped against. They're asking me people's last names and like it was just ridiculous. So
It was awesome.
just absurd. I had so many people reach out to me the next day. They're like, "This is garbage." They're like, "We need to know." I had probably 3 or 4 messages the next day, like, "We need to have a different test, retest." If I had failed, they would have called for a retest. Everybody, at least that talked to me, thought that test was really hard. So
That's probably because they hadn't seen the movie, so they don't. It doesn't matter.
Seth saw them all, and Seth was like, "I couldn't pass the test."
Okay, first of all, that's the wrong person to bring up because yes, he has seen them all, but he'll still be asking questions. Like, no, so no.
well, be that as it may, what it came down to is if Donnie had passed this test, Dev had to get a Switch and actually play it. It wasn't Golf Story. What is the requirement too? You had to play
2
Golf
games.
Golf
Story.
Story was a requirement.
2 games. If I watched all these things pass their test, Dev had to get a Switch. He had to play Breath of the Wild, and he had to buy and play Golf Story.
Okay.
There was supposed to be a third game, and I will honor that as well. So you get to pick one other ridiculous indie or something that I'll play, and I will play it.
Ridiculous indie.
I will honor
We're
my
going to talk about it, sort of.
So I was gonna let him off the hook with the third one, just
The
because.
original NBA Playgrounds pre-patch.
But if he wants to do this, Shackers out there, I'll take a tally vote. You throw us your recommendations. What do we want to make Dev play? I want you to go into the dearths of the eShop, pick out the just awfulest looking thumbnail you can find, and send
it's
it my
gonna
way.
it's gonna be a mobile port then. We don't want
Like
that.
Sinran Kagura. Like, can we get him to play one of those games?
No.
What was that crappy shmup that I didn't like? That was all like hurt my eyes, and it was like that weird,
like that old timey thing.
yeah, where you're the
Oh,
submarine.
yeah.
I don't remember.
We'll have to think about that. Sean says, "Don't die, Mr. Robot." Plague Road, The Messenger. Yeah, we've got Shackers. Give me your recommendations.
Yeah,
Tweet them at us. Hit us in the Discord in the next week. By this time next week, we'll announce the third game that Dev has to play. But yes, I passed the test, And you know what? It was a very fun experiment because he was probably going to get a Switch anyway. And I got to learn to love the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I've seen.
So it's a win-win.
It is.
That
I went to
was the
see
whole point.
Avengers 4, and I've seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, and the other one, and yeah. So I'm into all of them. Yeah, I'm into it now.
Yeah.
You've
That
seen
was
more
my
than
whole-
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. I just wanted to make Donnie love superheroes. That was it. I was like, you can't go the rest of the time and not enjoy these movies. I won't allow it. So
It's got me
That
hyped
was-
for this Avengers announcement that's looming. Like, I'd be paying attention, whereas before I wouldn't even have thought twice about it. So, yeah. Good
And here
stuff.
I am. I'll never care.
mission accomplished.
So, Dev, now that you've had your Switch for how long?
Maybe a month.
Yeah, it's been about a
I
month.
think it's about a month. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds all right.
So, give us
Yes,
your
sir.
impressions. Just tell us about it. Tell us what have you played on it? Like, what are you looking forward to?
So I've only played a couple of games on it. I've played plenty of Warframe, enjoying that. It's actually like Jason said, it runs really well. Hats off to them for making that one on the Switch because it's great. I enjoy it. I played Golf Story. Donnie, you were right. That game was a lot of fun.
Game is
I'm really
awesome.
enjoying that. I haven't quite finished it yet, but I enjoy it. That's a game that I can definitely go back to and would play a sequel if they made it. So having a lot of fun with that one. So you were definitely right with your Golf Story. I'll give you that. It's a good game. Other than that, I've played a little bit of Brawlhalla just because I need to play something to get ready to smash Jason in Smash.
Right.
I am not playing Fortnite. That's not going to happen. And I've realized something that
Good man.
Switch games are expensive. Like the ones that I actually want to play, they never go on sale. Like,
Call the
ever.
Switch tax.
It's ridiculous.
Which ones? Which ones are you talking about specifically?
Mainly Breath of the Wild. I'm like, can
Oh,
I
yeah,
get
yeah.
any kind of sale on that so I can actually play
You got to
it?
wait for that Best Buy pricing mistake.
Right?
That's all you can hope for.
My
What you get that
goodness.
for? It was like $35, wasn't it? That pricing error? I can't
Didn't
remember.
you get 2 of those, Donnie? Just send me one. Jesus.
I didn't get 2 of them. No. What I did was when they were doing when they had the sale, I traded in my physical copies and converted to digital. That's what I did.
I see. Okay, well, that's cool. But yeah, I like the Switch. It's fun to play. I love the build. It feels really good in my hands. I have not played it docked. I've only played it portable. It's pretty much just
wow.
been something that I've just kept at work because that's the only place that I ever go where I actually will see myself playing it on lunch or portably. So it's been nice. The Joy-Cons, the joysticks suck. They're terrible when you play first person shooter games or third person or anything where you need to be precise. Those things are terrible. So I definitely need a controller if I ever plan on getting deep into Warframe, which is a strong possibility. I want to get Diablo, but again, the Switch tax, like really, I'm like, I already have the game on PS4, the full thing, and I paid $29 for it. The thought of playing 60 for it is like, that's a tough one. That's a real tough sell. But other than that, I don't know what else I'm looking forward to be perfectly honest, just because I have not looked at the Switch library that much, and I don't want to get a bunch of games that I can already get on PS4 or Xbox, because that's where I'd rather play them, to be perfectly honest. So it's just hard to say. It's like a wait and see. Like I want to play exclusives mainly. So like I'm definitely, if they announce Metroid anything, I will definitely pick that up. Starlink actually doesn't look too bad. I may check that one out, and I will get Mario Kart at some point so we can play some drunk kart, because that just sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Give
Mario
us
Kart's a
Pokemon
blast.
again.
You just reminded me that third game, if the Shackers deem it, we should make them play Animal Crossing.
Oh God, no!
Mo's
don't
gonna
do that.
play it. We're gonna play it. Like that's the
Dev,
one we should
you
make
don't
them play.
understand. I don't have a real life anymore. My whole life gets imported into the game when Animal Crossing comes out.
No.
Yes.
You're gonna have that OT cell though. Coach gonna
I
sell
think
you
this
on
is
that.
a pretty good idea because we'll have Mo and like so yeah like I know Seth will get it, Kevin obviously, like we'll all be playing Animal Crossing. We should make Dev come to the show. That's a really good option for your third game, and you don't have to buy it right away. It's coming out later in the year.
And you do what in Animal Crossing? Raise,
You like
raise
farm,
crops and...
you decorate
Yeah.
your house, you change your
Yeah.
clothes, you pick plants. It's awesome.
So
Go
it's
fishing.
basically Second Life for Nintendo.
But it's cuter.
Better.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about cute.
Oh,
Stop
it's
that.
super cute. All the cuteness.
Ugh.
What?
Jason, save me, Jason.
I also play Animal Crossing though.
Yeah.
Damn it!
I also. That's like the best reaction.
I think
I never
we're gonna
did.
have to
I
do
never
this.
did until last year.
I think your third game is gonna be Animal Crossing. That's gonna be the one. That makes.
We're gonna
good
get him
sense now.
hooked, and he's never
He's gonna
gonna
play
not
like
play it.
100 hours of Animal Crossing.
Oh, at least.
Oh,
It's good. It's good.
all right.
I mean, you're gonna
Animal
fall in love
Crossing
with Villager and Smash, and you're just gonna be like, "Who is this weird-looking, googly-eyed thing? What's his deal?"
We're gonna trade fruit. Dev, you got cherries. I got peaches, man. We gotta hook up. So
You gotta
we can,
do it.
So we can
There-
plant the trees.
Yep.
There is nothing about anything any of you have said that have sold me on this yet.
And here's the thing with Animal Crossing. There's nothing that we can say that'll sell it to you, but when you play it, you'll understand.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lord
You're gonna love
have
it.
mercy. This sounds like some Facebook game.
No.
I'm scared.
Cool. So you like the system. We're going to. I've already been teasing for a while, but we're gonna do Shaq Returns to Hyrule. I know at least me, you, Kyle, Josh, and I'm not sure. Is anybody else going to join us?
Can we
Caroline's
say-
not.
can
Her
we say
streaming
Josh?
schedule will not allow it. She's got
we
other.
say
No,
Josh
it's not that. It's that I won't get rid of my save file. Period.
You don't have to
Put on a different
make a new
map.
profile.
or back it up to the cloud. Play under. Didn't you say you play under Brian's profile?
It takes 2 seconds.
Brian wants to play it too, so I'd have to literally make a new file.
It's not that big of a deal. Let's
Is
do it.
that a hard thing to do? Make a
No,
new file?
No.
It literally takes like 4
New
seconds.
profile.
You pick an icon. That's about. That's about the
Caroline's
extent
exercising her right to have first world problems.
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
I am excited for that. I am looking forward to Breath of the Wild. Zelda is like one of my favorite franchises of all time. It just happens to be on a system that I never play. So yeah, I mean my number 2 game of all time is Link to the Past. So, and that's
There you
never
go.
going to change.
There you go.
Breath of the Wild is my favorite Zelda game, and it took me
Same.
a long time to come to that realization because I love Wind Waker so much. But Breath of the Wild's better. I as excited as you are, I gotta say, I feel like I'm almost the most excited. Like I really want to go back and replay Breath of the Wild. Like I'm really like as the weeks pass, every time I see it on my home screen, I'm like, I could be playing Breath of the Wild. Like, I could play Breath of the Wild this way. I could be playing this instead of me forcing my way through Assassin's Creed. I could just play Breath of the Wild. Like, with every hour, I'm like, I could just play this game that I love, and I can't wait to go. back.
I can't wait to see what it is that has you so drawn in, because when I see you play games like Assassin's Creed and things of that nature, I'm like, what is about Breath of the Wild is that much different from any of these open world games
It's not.
that you play for a while and they're like, I don't want to play this anymore. I don't want to grind or do the end
It's
game.
probably just has a lot to do with the fact that it's just Zelda.
Yeah.
You know, the more and more it comes down to it, the more and more I realize that folks just they like the characters and IPs of the games they like. So,
Power of Hyrule.
yeah, Power of Hyrule.
Well,
All right.
Dev, you're looking to build up that library. So our quick take was to pitch you on a couple of additions that you could expand into. Donnie, what was our count? We said we're going to give 3.
I don't have 3, but yeah,
I have 2 maybe. So,
I have
But the Switch has so many games, right?
no, it's got tons. Here's my problem.
I could have 3, but here's the thing: are we going like?
He wants
console
exclusives. He said he wants exclusives.
Oh, sorry.
Right?
So that might be the problem. So
Yeah,
Do you
I've
wanna
got,
go
I've got a
ahead
few
first?
that I can pull from. Just
I've got
by
one for
easy.
sure, but I don't know if it's. I don't know.
But yeah, we're gonna pitch Dev on Switch. This is Dev's Switch pitches. We're gonna pitch him games that he's probably not heard of, or he's probably heard of them because of us, but he's never actually considered playing them or taking a look at them. So we're gonna pitch you on some games. I will start. Go ahead and get this going. You've got to buy and play Graceful Explosion Machine. It's fantastic. It's one of the best games on the system. It's cheap. It's super fun to play. You can play it solo. It's a score chaser. You can go try to beat Kyle and Jason's scores and get S ranks and all that. And it's just awesome. If you liked Resogun, it's not a twin stick shooter, but it's like a twin stick shooter. You don't use both sticks. That's the thing. Like you use the buttons. So you use the stick to drive and the buttons to shoot. But it's basically the same thing.
So is it set in a 3D space, or is it a side scroller?
2D side scrolling.
So like R-Type.
Yep. Just like
Yeah.
R-Type.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can do that.
You can't switch your direction. You have to push a button to flip which way you're facing. So it's not like,
okay.
So and there's you only have your standard shot only shoots in front of you. I mean, you have some upgrades that'll shoot in other directions, but so that's the that's a little bit of the challenge. But the whole thing's to get like the typical thing, get a score multiplier going and maintain it. Don't get hit. That type of deal.
Sounds good.
It's fun. The best thing about that game is it has a leaderboard, and you can say, "Hey, my friends have a score higher than me," and then you'll do what I do, and you'll replay a level over and over and over and over and over and over until you defeat them. So, I'll take the next one because I know, especially after what hearing you say, I think this is going to be a home run for you because it's only been available on Steam and Switch, and that's Blossom Tales. You like Link to the Past. This is right there. It's very much a homage to Link to the Past. It references Link to the Past very much so, and it plays just like Link to the Past, but it's more like Link to the Past mini. I would say it's not nearly as big as a game, but it's a lot of fun to play through.
Is it like cute and cuddly?
No, it looks just like Link to the Past.
It literally is Link to the Past kind of reskinned.
Oh, all right, well, yeah, I can play that
with little improved like lighting effects and sound effects and music, but exact same. You'll recognize some power ups and you'll recognize some, and if you can beat those stupid Simon Says crap to unlock items, oh my god, there's just like these sections of the game where you have to hit like these pillars and you get the chains just keep going. And man, I was about to the point where I was going to record it with my phone just to play it back because I couldn't do it. But you'll do it, Ted.
Okay. I will check that out. That sounds good.
I think it's super cheap too. I don't know what it's going for. It's $15 on Steam, so that means it's like 30 on Switch. Let's see.
It's regularly on sale. All those FGG entertainment games go on sale pretty quick. The folks that made Oceanhorn made that game.
Yeah, it's a great game. $14.99 on Switch.
Okay. All right. Sold.
Do you like long games?
He's played Destiny for 8 years. He's played one game during PSVG. It's like that's all he does. He plays one game.
That is not true.
Long RPGs.
He's played Destiny for 8 years.
I do like long RPGs. The problem with the RPG right now, because that is one of my favorite genres of all time, is just the lack of time I have to play long games.
Okay.
So
I won't recommend that one.
Never finish it.
I got into this game this year, and it is available in other installments on other game or on other systems and stuff, including PC. But I think you should play Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate for sure. Like, I think that is like what?
No, I have Monster Hunter on PS4, and I already know that's not a game that I really enjoy at all.
But see, okay, here's the difference. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate is like what the original Monster Hunter was. Now the Monster Hunter formula has changed so much. So Monster Hunter Generations is kind of like going back to the original. So maybe you like it. Like, I've known people that have bought Monster Hunter World and they don't like it at all. And then they go back and they get Monster Hunter Generations. They're like, this is awesome.
So what about the originals make it awesome? Like, I remember seeing Monster Hunter games back on like the PS1 era and having no idea what they were and never played them.
Right.
Blade World was like,
This one is like the original PlayStation one. So it's just fighting in the group online is the most fun, right? But you have your single player that you can do too. It's called Village Quests versus Hub, which is where you team up with other people to go and hunt down the monsters. And it's just like, it is quest oriented, but I don't know. There's something about hacking away at something over and over and over again that's really cathartic after a while. I didn't want to get the game because I was like, oh, I feel bad, if they start drooling or they start panting really hard, like, they're really, really in distress. I don't want to see that, but these things are ugly. It's just
okay to kill ugly monsters, not okay to kill the cute ones.
That's right.
Hey, one of my favorite monsters is the one that I love to go up against the most, and it's the prettiest thing I've ever seen. So, yeah.
We'll see.
It's cheap now. Like, I saw it on Black Friday, and I was like, why didn't I wait for this price? It's like $30-something.
Every game ever.
Right. On Black Friday.
Crazy. The next game I'll recommend, I believe, is one of the best games in the entire system. It's definitely, you're going to hear about it a lot from me.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
when it comes time to talk about Game of the Year on Switch this year, and that's Hollow Knight.
Oh yeah, I'm playing that.
Hollow Knight's amazing. It's incredible. If you're good enough to finish it, I can only imagine it's a rewarding experience. I wish I could get to the end. I can't. I'm not good enough. But that doesn't mean that I don't love the world. I don't love the music. I don't love the character. I don't love the story, and I don't love the gameplay. I loved every hour I've wasted in that game has been a joy, and it's really good. I think it's one of the best games. It's one of the best indie games I've seen. I just put it that way. Not like this gen, not this year. It's just one of the best indie games I've ever seen.
And it's like a Metroidvania, right?
It absolutely is.
Uh-huh.
Yep. And the best. It's like it would be my favorite Metroidvania game if I had to like rank them.
Have any of you played Axiom Verge?
I haven't.
I haven't played that yet.
Oh man, I love that game. That's a Metroidvania as well, and that is something that I'm contemplating picking up on Switch. I have it on PS4, but I played it the majority of it back when you could actually remote into your PS4 from your phone with a nice little hack.
Yeah,
I pretty much played that game exclusively handheld because it just fit. It made the most sense.
This is the trap you're going to fall into with games. You're going to rebuy games or buy games that because of that.
Yep.
So Axiom Verge is something that I'm definitely thinking about picking up, and I definitely want to play Hollow Knight. I've heard nothing but good stuff, and I definitely love the Metroidvania type games, and the fact that it's somewhat difficult and Donnie can't beat it makes me want to beat it that much more.
That's how the gating I do for everyone that's played that game. It's like, let me know when you beat the Soul Master. I asked Lucas and then someone else, and that's frequent.
And trust me, he comes into my DMs and reminds me. I get like weekly updates on how many people have beat the Soul Master. It's like, oh, by the way, this guy beat it. I ran into this hobo on the street.
The best is when I had the video captured of me beating him in like 30 seconds or whatever it was. That was the best one. Humble brag, right? No, I don't know.
Nice,
Donnie, we love you. My next pick is The Messenger.
Oh,
got that. It's that classic, you've got the side-scrolling Ninja Gaiden reference a little bit, but it's difficult. It's side-scrolling, and I don't know. It's just a fun game. I played through. I mean, I had a lot of sleep. I had a couple sleepless nights in a row playing through that game, and it's challenging but fun. I think it's another game you can kind of get through in a short bit of time. And it was just like it offers a unique experience. It's a game like that I haven't played before. Unfortunately, in its trailers, it kind of showed off that the whole the era switching mechanic, but it's just kind of cool how that plays into the gameplay. And it's a fun little challenge to overcome. It's not nearly as difficult as Hollow Knight. You're not going to get that big sense of accomplishment from it, but it's got some harder sequences, and I think you get some rewarding gameplay elements from that. It's definitely one of those games when you start off playing, you're like, how am I going to ever get down these advanced inputs and play styles? How am I going to get through that? And then you come back to earlier levels and you're like, you're flipping all over the screen doing stuff. That's a cool game to progress through.
You had me at Ninja Gaiden. So.
I mean, you look like Ryu Hayabusa. I mean,
that's my dude.
Yeah.
Too. Do you like Devil May Cry?
Oh,
it's cool. I enjoyed it.
You're taking mine.
Get yourself Bayonetta 2 and get Bayonetta digital download. I'm telling you, it's like a 10-hour game for each. You can go through the game in 10 hours for each one, and it's just fun hack and slash, dude. Same development team, And there's a lot of Easter eggs from Devil May Cry in there. So anybody that's played the Devil May Cry series would appreciate it, obviously.
It's absolutely gorgeous and portable. It's gorgeous docked. They up-resed it and improved it from the Wii U version. It's totally worth it.
It was hot.
So has Bayonetta gone like Nintendo exclusive? Because I remember
they basically have bought her. That's basically bought her.
Coming out only for the Switch.
Yep. Nintendo published Bayonetta 2, so I believe they had some sort of pay for development type thing, and they put her in Smash, and then they have the exclusivity for 3. So, I don't know if there's like any actual like second party deal that we're aware of or anything like indefinitely, but from this point forward, and like during I want to say it was Kamiya, but maybe it wasn't Kamiya, but I remember after Bayonetta 2 came out on Wii U, Platinum more or less said if it wasn't for Nintendo, Bayonetta, like the franchise would be dead.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Nintendo, we weren't coming back to this because of the sales and whatnot. So Nintendo kind of resurrected it. And yeah, it's basically exclusive until further notice.
It's a great game.
Okay, sounds good. I definitely can get down with the Bayonetta. That sounds like something I might enjoy. So let's build the list.
That was my next pick. So Jason, you're on deck.
Well, the inevitable port of Star Fox Zero, right? I mean, you gotta play that, right? I don't think I can. I don't know if I can add another because, one of the games I would suggest would probably have been, oddly enough, would have been Fallout because I like it so much. But that game is obsolete now. There's no point in buying that game because no one's going to play that game in another week. It's going to be a dead zone, and like Hyper Light Drifter, you might have already played that. That's not console exclusive. So I don't really think I have a solid third. I don't really think I have a solid third pick.
Really, guys?
Don't get one.
What you got, Carol? You sound like you got something.
Mario and Rabbids Kingdom
Oh,
Battle.
no, don't even try.
We
We know Dev.
I love it though. I feel it's such a strategical, tactical type game. It's
I
not.
don't like tactic games.
Or Mario.
Or Mario. Mario can kick rocks. Like, no. And yeah, I don't like tactic games. I just no. If I have to manage a whole bunch of things like that and be tactical with I'm good. That's just I want to just take the hero and kill everything. I don't want to have to manage any kind of units or anything like that at all.
Would you play Splatoon?
I'll play Splatoon because it involves shooting things.
Let's go.
I did not think that. I thought it'd be too cute for you.
So did I, and that's why I didn't recommend it.
No, I will play Splatoon because mainly I get to shoot people like Donnie. So if he's on the other team, I'm going to shoot him.
Hashtag shoot Donnie in the face.
I mean, that is a popular trend for gaming choices. People like. I mean, Carol never picks Donnie's team in Splatfest just so she can shoot Donnie.
It's not true, but I'll take it. And I did mention Xeno 2 because you don't have time.
Waifu.
I was also going to say Octopath Traveler. That was my first one, but you don't have time.
Yeah, those are honestly two games that I would play. But I'm gonna have to wait for my kids to graduate from college before I have the time to play those games.
Yeah.
Or at least Hudson needs to not be so needy. He's 3 and he requires a lot of attention, which makes it very difficult for me to do anything other than play Destiny.
One game and one game only.
I love it.
I had Overcooked listed too. I was just looking at my whole list. Okay.
Overcooked, I don't know. That seems like something I could if my wife ever wants to play.
Yeah, Lucas and I had a blast with Overcooked too. It was so much fun. So much fun finishing that game. Now we're gonna get the DLC, do the end game stuff. It'll be great.
Yep.
And we're still friends. Imagine that.
I may check that out. I may check out Overcooked. I've heard nothing but good things, and it seems like a good game to play with people. So that's a possibility.
Metroid Prime is coming. It's not like a Metroidvania game. It's like the Prime series where it's the first-person shooter, but there is a Metroid game coming. So
just bring me Metroid Fusion. Isn't Samus Returns or something on Switch?
3DS, baby.
Dang 3DS and it's amazing. You want to make another bet? We get Dev to get a 3DS.
Oh,
that's not happening. I'm not making any more bets. I'm definitely not buying a 3DS. That's not
probably
happening.
give you one at this point. Like everybody's got 5 of them, and
how many 3DSs do you have, Donnie?
In my house or me?
In your house.
I have 3.
We have 3.
Wow.
I only have 1. Sorry.
I've bought 5.
Break. Good God.
How many PS Vitas did you buy?
Cult on Nintendo,
I had
man.
3. 2 Vitas. 2 Vitas. No, 3 counting Seth's. Seth and I did a trade, so or I think it was, I don't remember, 2 or 3. I had 2 or 3 Vitas. So
I'll play Prime when that comes for sure.
There you go. Dev, I think you got some good lists there.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
We expect an eventual progress update sometime in 2019.
Yeah,
Smash comes first.
Yeah, Smash is going to be everything. So
that's right. That's my boy. We had some good news drop this week, guys. We do want to hit to that. I mean, we know this is going to be probably a tad longer episode than normal, just with the size and content. But we had some interesting news drop this week. Let's start off with Nintendo has revealed that the Switch broke 2 records from Thanksgiving to Cyber Monday. The Switch became the fastest selling Nintendo console in U.S. history over that 5-day period. Switch had its best selling week in the United States since launching in March of 2017. And Switch was also the overall top selling video game product online for the Black Friday, Cyber Monday time period.
This is like the compliment in the sandwich that most analysts don't expect them to meet their lofty sales goal, which is generating all of the best headlines about how doomed they are. They're not. They're selling gangbusters.
I mean, if we're not, what was the number? 40 million, right?
38. They
38.
They started at 18 and they wanted to get to 38.
If only 35 million, if that's considered failing, then sign me up because I'm pretty sure that's still printing money. Right?
If they hit 35,
failure.
If you look at that stupid graph that they're like, oh, well, here's where they want to be right now.
Yeah.
Here's where Nintendo wants to be, and here's
right there.
It's like just a little bittiest margin. It's like, who cares? Do you know how plastic that is?
But they get all them clicks. But if they reach 35, which seems to be like a pretty good target depending on what they have in this first quarter, if they reach 35, they will have tripled the Wii U in 2 years. I think they're okay.
Great.
Yeah,
I think they're okay. If they can weather the Wii U for 5 years, I think they're good if they can triple it in 2 years off the Switch. I think they're doing just fine.
Amen. I agree. And probably the biggest headline that came out was out of Japan. Big rumor, big tease. Skyward Sword. Is it getting remastered? Is it coming to Switch? Aonuma himself made an odd-stage appearance at the Legend of Zelda musical concert in Osaka. During this appearance, he said the following: "I know what you're thinking. Skyward Sword for Switch, right?" And apparently, I never actually watched everything, but it just showed. He showed Skyward Sword, just like there was an image, a video, or something.
They don't allow cameras in those concerts.
So that would be why. Okay, so I will say that's what he did, and so of course, internet fervor, as we do in the Nintendo spheres. Oh my gosh, Skyward Sword! It's not happening. It's going to happen. Oh, everyone losing their minds, and then a couple days later, we have a standard quote come out from Nintendo from an unnamed rep that says, "We have no plans at this time to release Skyward Sword on Nintendo Switch," which is kind of the blanket statement that always gets made for anything. N64 classic, Majora's Mask, across history. So it's a long time. It's a long running debate. Whenever time this happens. So, what do you guys think? Would you want Skyward Sword on the Switch?
Oh, I smell some BS in here.
Nintendo. I'm not gonna make a crack like that, and it's not happening. I mean, if anything does to gauge audience reaction, be like, would they like this? I think it's coming within the year. I'd have to say, because we got a thing not even a week ago. Somebody had an article, or some analyst said,
I know the article you're talking about.
There's
the editor of Game Informer, Imran Khan, was on a podcast, and they were talking about the next Zelda game and when the next one would be. And he responded, "The next Zelda game is coming sooner than you think." And he was then asked, would the next one be coming from the Triforce Hero teams? And he said, "Not exactly.
Yes,
but I can't talk to you. I'll share more with you offline."
Right.
So I don't want to I don't want to.
They've been hiring for a Zelda team as well. Right?
I don't want to cross the streams, but when I saw those statements and the way he worded them, my head immediately went to mobile. I was like, "There's probably something Zelda mobile in the mix." Like, we know that we're getting Mario Kart mobile. That's probably the next one, right? We'll see Mario Kart, they'll drop it, and then they'll talk Zelda mobile. I don't think that is this. It might be, but I don't think it's this, because I don't think he would have said, "Is this for the Triforce Heroes?" Not exactly. That doesn't equate to Zelda to Skyward Sword remaster. Those two are not even in the same realm. You would never answer that. Like, if you knew that Skyward Sword remaster was coming and somebody said, "Is it like Triforce Heroes?" You wouldn't be like, "Not exactly." You'd be like, "No."
I would love a multiplayer weird Zelda game to come out out of left field on Switch, though. Your Four Swords or your Triforce Heroes or something like that. Sure. That'd be sweet.
I didn't like Triforce Heroes because I didn't have anybody to play with.
Oh,
I think that formula is probably better fit for mobile than it is for console or 3DS. Yeah.
Yeah. Every like month or so for the past 6 months, I've been like, Brian, I really want to play Skyward Sword again. Brian, I really want to play Skyward Sword again. Brian, I really want to play Skyward. Like, the Wii is right there. Just turn it on. You can do it yourself. And now that this has come out, I was like, I'm just gonna have to wait.
Well, it's not. All right. So, all right. Let me jump in here. Do I think it's coming? Yeah. I don't think Enuma would ever have said this if it wasn't coming. But I do want to just. I'd like to temper Caroline's expectations. We were getting Majora hints for like a good 18 months before that finally came out. There were like 2 E3s we were expecting Majora 3DS. Like, we were all but certain. We were like, oh, it's got to happen. And it didn't happen.
It's like doing the Pokemon Yellow thing. If you play it, recent, then is it going to feel right if you go and play the upgraded version?
Because they were talking about Majora after Ocarina of Time 3D, and then they hinted at it in Link Between Worlds, and then like they had all the interviews. Like, that was time. And Skyward Sword, unlike that, like, that was taking the ROM and putting it into that engine and updating it, but that wasn't nearly the lift that bringing Skyward Sword to console would be. Like, in all due respect, Skyward Sword needs to be remade. If they're going to do Skyward Sword, I would want it to be a full remake. They can't give it to Twilight Princess. They can't slap a control scheme on it and then up-res it and say that's the game. Because, one, the motion controls are integral to that game. They're integral. So either you keep them and you re-release an up-res port, which I think is going to piss people off. I don't think you can do. I don't think that's an option. If they come out and they say you got to play this with motion controls, you got to hold your Joy-Con, everybody's going to riot. Nobody wants that.
Nobody.
So they have to redo the controls. And if you're going to do it with a handheld controller control scheme, you got to remake the game, because so many of the boss fights and so many of the battles are specifically built around you throwing your sword in a specific direction that would just be boring if you just tied that same thing to a thumbstick. So it has to be remade, in my opinion. It's got to be redone.
They're going to go the Pokemon route, and they're going to make you buy a little Master Sword peripheral to play the game with.
You put on your keychain.
I would buy it. I would buy all of the accessories too, like the little bomb, throw the bomb, the boomerang,
hook shot, all of that.
I definitely think the past week this fervor has been very interesting, because Skyward Sword came out to huge acclaim, and then for years has been like the one that people have thrown stones at and talked about how it wasn't good and what didn't live up to review scores and everything. And to the point where, at least for me, I think a lot of people widely adopted that. But then you hear Enuma say this, and now all of a sudden my Twitter's filled with people that claim that they were the biggest Skyward fans for years. And it's like everybody now loves Skyward Sword. And I'm like, here's what I'll say. If they do it right and they remaster it, I would like to buy it again and give it another try. Skyward Sword is towards the bottom of my Zelda list. I don't think it's the best Zelda game. That said, most Zelda games are better than most games. Like, Zelda games by default are really good. Even the worst Zelda game are really good. So I would still rebuy it to be open to the intrigue, but Skyward Sword didn't really do it for me. It's got a beautiful art style, maybe the best in series. I would love to see it done in HD. It deserves it. It has by far and away, maybe... I'm trying to save myself from blanket statements. By far and away, Skyward Sword has one of the best soundtracks in a video game ever made. Absolutely. Like, bar none, the music in that game, like, Skyward Sword deserves to be saved. But to save it properly, that game was padded out beyond belief. Plus the motion controls, like, it needs to be redone. Like, really redone. Like, new pieces added, pieces taken away. Like, boss fights rethought of, like, remade, not remastered. It needs to be remade.
Don't you crap on my second favorite Zelda game.
That's your second favorite Zelda game?
That's asinine. That's ridiculous.
Behind Breath of the Wild, yes. The story is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Story plus music. I never
see that look.
Yeah,
I never had issue with motion controls except in one side quest where you're playing the harp.
The motion controls, and that's the thing. Look, the motion controls aren't bad. The motion controls, you can play the game. It's not bad. I don't think it's fun. Like, doing all the dowsing and everything. Like, it's definitely not the prime way that we are all being conditioned to play a Zelda game. It's not bad. I don't hate that it had motion controls. But if you're going to bring it over, that can't be done.
I think what they do is they make an optional motion control. and you can either turn them on or off. You can play it. I mean, if you're going to play it handheld, you can't do it.
But yeah, getting back to my point, though, if you keep the battles the way they are and you let people play it with a controller, it's going to be boring because it was built for motion controls. It's not
So how about
like...
you
Go ahead, Dev.
how about you create a remake of it, but then also bundle that with just the original game, and you can add all the motion controls, so you can actually see a difference in the two games.
I mean, they could. They've never really done anything like that before, but they could. It's possible. A virtual console and whatever that ends up being, like maybe one day. But yeah, I mean, if they're going to put any time and effort into it, then I think you got to do it the right way. And if you're not going to do it the right way, then it's not worth it. To me, anyway. Yeah, to me. I'd much rather them port over the Twilight Princess and the Wind Waker games.
Yeah, I want to play Twilight Princess. I saw Skyward Sword when I worked at Best Buy and sold it, and it looked terrible because it was on an HD TV and the motion stuff never worked. So I was like, what is this garbage? What have they done to my Zelda?
Kind of.
But
a lot of people feel that way.
Twilight Princess was one. I was like, oh, this actually looks interesting. I might want to play this. But again, didn't have a Wii or a Wii U, so never got around to playing either of them. So I'll offer both of them coming to the Switch because now I have a Nintendo system and can play them.
Yep. That's how I played Twilight Princess, was because of the HD port. So I mean, I welcome it as well. And I agree with you what you said too, Donnie. If it wasn't Enuma that said this, I think that really gives it a lot of credibility.
It does. He would have just said that like off the cuff. Right. Nobody just says that. That's ridiculous.
And I would welcome that to experience that game. Otherwise, what we always say, give us the Zelda HD collection, give us all these games, or give me the Zelda handheld collection, give me all the handheld Zeldas on a cart. Just
CDI remastered.
Give me all the Zeldas.
Yeah,
all the Zeldas.
More Zelda is always the answer. More Zelda, most Zelda, as many Zelda, all the Zelda.
Leave off Zelda 2 and leave off that CDI thing.
Oh, I actually like Zelda 2.
You're the only one.
I am error.
Okay, I think having as the original Zelda done in a Pokemon Let's Go style would be fantastic. Can you imagine that kind of thing? Use it in the Breath of the Wild engine.
I'm trying to see if Jason about to say something like.
No, I'm communicating with
Dog. Okay, I was like, he looked very deep in thought. I was like
shadow creatures.
I'm just on pins and needles. Like, what's Jason about to say?
I was mind melding my dog.
I think you just take a Breath of the Wild engine and do that open world thing, but do literally the map of the original game and redo the original game.
I thought that was more or less the inspiration for Breath of the Wild.
I was going to say, isn't that what Breath of the Wild was inspired by? Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, they've got this engine now. If you want to tie people over, just throw that out there. Do you know what? It would sell.
I already gave you my thing. You flood it. Flood Breath of the Wild and give me Wind Waker 2. That's what you do. You take that same engine, you flood it, and give me a brand new story. That's what you need to do. That's the best idea.
It would be a never-ending ocean.
So good. So good.
All that pretty stuff and all those hills and mountains that you can climb, just put water all over it.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Then you can go dive underwater and chase some sharks and giant water.
No, I don't do underwater sea creatures in video games. I don't do it.
What?
And I just want to mention real quick that Nintendo has plans to shut down their creators program at the end of December, which is good for any people out here that much of you that probably are on content creators yourself, because you couldn't really do anything, especially if you want to monetize and use Nintendo, or otherwise you had to jump through hoops or your stuff gets taken down, and that was annoying. So it's a asinine system that was a pain in the butt for a lot of people. So that's good for a lot of creative people out there that is going away. We have a couple questions, Donnie. We have one question to get to real quick before we wrap up tonight.
That's it.
What do we got?
Get into our questions direct from you.
Please understand.
Drew wants to know, what do you think, if any, Nintendo announcements might be made next week at the Game Awards? Dev?
It's hard to say. I feel like Nintendo doesn't really do a lot of announcements outside of directs, honestly.
Ooh.
I can't imagine what they would have at the Game Awards, especially with Smash. I don't think they want to take any kind of light away from Smash. So I don't know what the heck they
We've got one more Smash Bros trailer. How do we navigate the menu screen?
I mean, They could announce a DLC character. I don't think they would, but they could. Like they have DLC characters. We know we're getting with 5.
Wow.
They could.
Now, if we're talking what I want to hear some Metroid stuff. But
Okay.
other than that, I don't really know what else they'd have to really announce. Honestly.
To maybe help support your theory, Nintendo actually has, I would say, like a good legacy of showing something at the Game Awards. This is something they typically do. They showed Breath of the Wild for the first time at the Game Awards in terms of like seeing, like, right, with like the whole visual and the hill thing.
And it was Bayo 3 last year, and it was also the
Donkey
Breath of the
Kong
Wild
Tropical
DLC.
Freeze dropped at the Game Awards.
Yeah, and the Breath of the Wild DLC too, because it literally came out a couple weeks later.
So they'll typically do something.
I definitely have Nintendo blinders on. I don't really see what they announce.
He watches the show, has no idea.
I want to see Metroid in it. I finally see Metroid. That's my thing.
We haven't heard anything since E3 last year.
That's the one like Callow, all the Discord, everybody wants to see Metroid, and I'm scared that like they're gonna like disappoint everybody, and then we're like Yoshi's
Well, it's the internet.
Crafted World, and everybody's be like, oh my god.
It doesn't matter. That's what we learned. They could show Breath of the Wild,
Real.
something else, or
I'm gonna try to meet.
Doesn't matter.
This is a show where the guys are allowed to drop the F-bomb X amount of times.
Did you watch the guy that did that EA game last year?
Oh,
He dropped
gosh.
the F-bomb a bunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was-
So I seriously doubt they're going to bring a Yoshi's Crafted World trailer.
Brought Tropical Freeze.
I mean, they might. I feel like Jeff Keighley and Reggie Fils may have a pretty good relationship, so they may bring some heat. It's
I thought
possible.
Mario Rabbids was T for teen anyway.
I don't know.
I
I'm
feel like it is.
gonna
It's
meet
got
you halfway.
rabbits in it.
I'm gonna meet you halfway, and I'll pose something that I think is possible.
It
I think
totally was, because that computer rabbit running Roomba thing was vulgar.
I think if they show Metroid Prime, I mean, I don't think that game is coming out next year.
No way.
You know, there's a lot of people that are like penciling it in, and I
don't think so.
I think when they announced it, it wasn't in development. Like, I know they've said it, but I feel like when they announced it for like pure pop. They're like, let's put up a logo and we'll get this thing going. And if they were like in development, like they were in pre-pro, like they were thinking about what they might want to do with it.
2020 Christmas season.
Yeah, that's kind of, so if they do Metroid Prime, maybe it's like some sort of cinematic trailer to understand like maybe what it is. But I could see them, if it is Metroid, I'll meet you halfway. They show you a cinematic trailer for Metroid Prime. They're not going to give you a window because they're going to keep that for E3. But then they announce that Metroid Prime Trilogy is hitting the Switch eShop at some point. That day, that week, next month, February, something like that.
If they can do that, and then also give me Metroid Fusion and the other one that was on Game Boy Advance, that would make my day.
And that would be the scary part, is if like they show up and that's what they have, Metroid Fusion. They're like, hey, Metroid Fusion.
Federation Force Remaster!
I like Federation Force.
I do too, actually.
Federation Force is good. But yeah, I could see them doing something with Trilogy to bide over the time, but I'm starting to get real scared that a lot of people are getting real excited for Metroid. There's like a Metroid starting to get like up there, and it's like somebody might want to
Balloon
this
Fight
off.
2! It's going to just come in with random headlines. So that's all I'm going to do now, the rest of the show. Sorry.
And I'm more or less expecting some third-party port announcement or something like that. You know, that's more like what I'm expecting. Something like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What would you like to see ported that you don't already have? Because everything eventually gets ported.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. I don't have any off the top of my head, but like I've said it for the longest time, all the indie hits should make their way to Switch. All of the walking sims and like decision-based games should all, like, the fact that Firewatch is still not here, and like Abzu took this long to get here, like all of those games should have been here a long time ago. Ethan Carter, Edith Finch, like all of those games should be getting ported, because I think the Switch base don't have a lot of those, never had a lot of those, and I think they'll sell well.
What do you think the holdup is with that? Like, why do you think those games haven't made it over? Because it seems like an easy, quick fix. Like, it should be there.
We've seen some companies get ports up in no time, and I think it's the development. Like, it seems like the folks that, like the indie folks that are in Unity, have no problem. They're just like, file save as Switch game. Like, I know it's harder than that, but they really get things up in like 8-12 weeks. They're really up and running. You know, Jules got like his entire catalog over in no time. Like, he was there like first half of the year and he had everything over. So I think it's development tools, like people that are running proprietary engines that aren't built for Switch. I think they're having issues. The other stuff that I always think for like Switch that makes sense is any like B tier titles. So like I've always like had my eyes out for like Devil May Cry, Nier, anything like that. Any of those B tier franchise, Hitman. Like what if somebody like dropped like a Hitman announcement? You know, like that would pop for Switch fans. They could get those types of games like Diablo could get a second run because these Switch people have never had them before. Plus portability adds an extra value. Anything Rockstar. Like these are games that I think people are looking for based on how well Switch is selling, and we're not really seeing them. Coach and I, every direct we think Madden. Like we're just dying to see Madden show up at some point.
I don't think you're going to get Madden because of Frostbite, to be perfectly honest. Like you said, when you talk about those proprietary engines, Frostbite is a problem on consoles. I don't think it'll make it to the Switch.
And honestly. I think they'd have to do what they did for FIFA. Is they'd have to make one outside of Frostbite, and I think they'll make one. Just like they did for 3DS, just like they did for Wii U. I think they'll make one. They'll make one Madden for Switch. And it'll be on their old engine. It'll be like it'll be on the FIFA engine. And they'll make one, and we'll have to update rosters and whatnot manually. But I think they'll make one, and I think we're getting it this year. But you're right. It is Frostbite. That's why it's not coming. So, sorry. Tangent.
It's all right. Kira, I don't remember. Did you have your prediction?
I didn't. The only things that are coming out that I would like to see more of, I mean, aside from a brand new thing, I would like to see more of a teaser for Fire Emblem. We haven't gotten anything aside from that.
That'd be awesome.
Little that we saw at E3, but I mean, some more juice to that. The only ones that I'm really interested in that are coming out, I feel like Smash, they're not going to show anything at all. I don't believe they've got even the DLC characters.
They said they already know them.
They know them, but I don't think they have anything to show us.
I totally think they could literally just say, our first DLC character is insert popular person here and show a picture, and people will go nuts.
Maybe.
And what day is
Banjo-Kazooie.
It's Thursday.
Next Thursday.
So that's Smash comes out the next day.
The next day.
Mm-hmm.
We got a good week next week.
They could do something, yeah.
It would make sense.
Yeah.
The only three that I'm like interested in that haven't come out, and aside from Smash, Animal Crossing, Bayo 3, and Fire Emblem, that I think would be good fits.
I don't think they'll show Fire Emblem at the Game Awards. It's so American based and so Western. Pikmin?
Ooh, if a new Pikmin.
Stoking Kevin's heart. And now we've officially reached where every Nintendo show prediction goes, where we just start rambling off Nintendo names. Just any Nintendo name, just all of the IPs. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking more like along the lines of that whatever the next Warframe, the next Wolf 2, like what is that next third-party game that we don't know about that's being ported that's coming to Switch? Like there's got to be out there. Like we've got Warframe, we've got Fortnite. Like, what's that next game? I could see something like that being announced at the Game Awards.
Skyward Sword. Wouldn't it be funny if they just did it?
I don't think that's crazy because they dropped the other remasters like in March. I was looking that up. So they dropped them in March before. So like, let's say they've been working on this for a while. Let's say they've wanted to do this since Breath of the Wild released. They could have it ready by now. That's the thing I don't think anybody's thinking of. They're like, oh, it would take forever to do it. And it's like, they released Breath of the Wild 2 years ago. They could be doing it. They could have already done it.
I think it would be hilarious if they came out with that statement. It's all just been within the span of a week, and then the next week they're like, by the way, Skyward Sword for Switch.
And they've done that before too. They've done exactly that before too. They've done that with like the GBA and stuff like that. And like, no, this isn't a thing. Oh yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah. So. DS Lite was literally like the day after they refuted it. Yeah. Sorry, Dev. Continue.
It's all good. I was gonna say you're talking about like the third party next big thing coming, Overwatch.
I didn't even think about that. That would be pretty good.
That would be huge.
I mean, especially when you think about how big Diablo was for them. I mean, Diablo is a shoehorn on the Switch. Like, it's great. Made by the same company. Overwatch. It just makes sense.
Anything
after
Bethesda?
You see how good. That's also true. Bethesda's like, we're just gonna throw everything on here.
There's Dishonored. Didn't sell that great on consoles. Let's throw it on Switch. See how it does.
We're porting StarCraft 64 to Nintendo Switch.
Oh boy.
Yep.
I think it's that time. Donnie, remind people what's going on next week. What's our rundown?
Yeah, so next week, just like last week, we're doing little things a little differently. The Game Awards is Thursday. I don't believe any of us have any streaming plans, but we're not going to record Nintendo Shack on Thursday. Are you going to stream?
I'm going to stream my reaction to the Game Awards.
Okay, so Caroline has that over there at twitch.tv/thenintendame, and we'll host her on our stuff and we'll tweet her out, so stay tuned for that. Smash releases on Friday. Because Smash releases on Friday, we're not going to record on Thursday, and because Smash releases on Friday and we all have jobs, we're not going to record on Friday. We're going to record on Saturday. That's going to give us an entire day to play all the Smash things and hit the mics live, just like we did with Pokemon.
What
just
luxuries
like we did
you
with
speak
Pokemon.
of?
Oh yeah, you're gonna do it. Come on, look at this. Jason does this. He goes, "Oh, I can't play. Splatoon drops. He's playing at like 1 a.m. He's like, oh, I gotta play the game at level up."
That's why I'm gonna play it, because during waking hours, I have a near 2-year-old that says, "Dad, me."
And you go, "Hey, kid,
go, yep.
grab this controller and let me show you this game I'm about to play."
You give him the controller. It's not hooked up.
Do what Sean did. You see Sean just like taking Starlink right out of Link's hands?
My kid hasn't seen a television on in my house though in his entire life. The only time he sees a TV is at a restaurant. So we're keeping that streak alive.
Holy crap!
No screen time.
I'm so jealous of that because that would have.
It's been tough.
My kids have their own screens, both on the go and at home.
Bonnie's like, here. You're gonna
Yeah, I knew how to operate the VCR when I was like not even a year old.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
But so we're going to record Nintendo Shack Saturday night. Be me, Kevin, and Jason, of course.
So you're saying there's room for a fourth?
Is there? Did we already promise that? No, we promised that spot to Lucas. Brother Lucas is supposed to join us.
Oh,
Is he really?
brother Lucas won't be able to though. He's not even gonna be able to play the game because he's
So
got
there is a
surgery.
spot available on a Saturday night. So
Unfortunately has his gallbladder removed.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
on
that.
Smash Day.
That sucks.
Because he had asked, he requested that spot like
Yeah,
3 months ago.
did.
He was like, I just want to be on Shack when Smash.
Hey,
drops.
this will be the first Smash cast I show up to because I didn't make the E3 one,
Oh, that's right.
and I didn't make this
Make the-
last one.
Well, let's fingers crossed. We'll see.
Depending on how late you guys start, I mean, if you guys don't pull in a fourth, I may be able to, but I'm pretty sure that I've got
It's
dinner
your
plans.
birthday.
Yeah, it's your birthday.
So we're gonna do that. We'll record our thoughts. We'll recap whatever Nintendo shows at the Game Awards. They'll show something. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about any news that pisses off YouTubers across the country between now and then, and and we'll talk about our thoughts on Smash, which is really that's what we all want to do. We'll talk about what Smash is, what we like, what we play, what we didn't, and all that jazz. So that's next week's plan.
I like it. It sounds good. That is going to do it for the Shack this week. Dev, thank you so much for making your first appearance in the Shack. We loved having you. Everyone else, please check out psvg.blog. There's a big button right there. It says, hey, join us on Discord. It'll get you on our server. It's the hotness. Come join us in the Shack. We'd love to have you. And if you didn't already know, you can get the Shack feed independently of itself, or just get the whole PSVG feed, get all the shows, all the content you'd ever want. We'd love it. That's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. Come back for more Nintendo Shack.
Good night, Koopalings.